This week, we will be drawing fall animals. And our fall animal for this week is an owl. And owls are considered to be fall animals because they make more noise during late fall. During the summer months, they are just quiet. Owls are nocturnal, which means they sleep during the day and are active at night. So if you hear one, you will hear it at nighttime. They are called raptors. Raptors are considered birds of prey. They have sharp talons, which is their claws on their feet. And they have curved bills for beaks. And they have these talons and these curved bills to hunt and eat things like rats and other small animals like frogs and etc. Just small animals. And that's pretty much why they need these talons and why they are called raptors, birds of prey. And owls' eyes are not round. They're tube shaped. They do not move at all, like ours turn and roll. They're known for their big eyes. They have almost binocular-like vision. Binoculars are those things that you can look into that makes things, it magnifies things, makes them really, really, really larger, almost like it brings it close up to you.
I sleep with them every night.
And they have excellent hearing. And because their eyes are binocular-like and they have excellent hearing, the reason why their eyes do not move around in their head because they're more tube-shaped, they hardly move at all. Their eyeballs do. So because their eyeballs hardly move at all, they can turn their heads almost completely around. So their neck pretty much lets their head turn almost completely around to where it's almost looking straight back behind them. There are over 200 species of different types of owls. And this is why they are fall animals. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw our fall owl. And once we're finished drawing it, you can color your owl any color that you want to. It can be just as colorful as you want it to be. And we're going to have him sitting on a branch up in the air. First, you're going to start with the owl's eyes. So you're going to do 2 oval shapes, kind of close together towards the top of your paper. And then 2 circles inside of each, a circle inside of each oval. Then you're going to draw your beak. Or what was it? Their bill, as they call it, instead of a beak. So basically you're going to draw, if you were to turn your paper sideways, you're going to kind of draw a square. When you turn it this way, it's more like a diamond. So you got a pointing line that goes down on each side, and then you just connect your pointing line to each side, and then starting from those corner points, bring a line in that goes down and comes to a point in the middle so that it's right above the bottom, so that way we can tell his bill opens. Now here, around those eyes, you're going to start at the top of that bill, or beak, whatever you prefer to call it. And you're going to come around with some oval type shapes and bring it to the bottom side of that bill. And do the same thing around the other eye. And in your eyes, you're going to come in here and color that in. Which, of course, you can color it in with whatever you have. Now, the next part is just going to be a kind of a U shape, starting from the bottom part of each side, each one of his eyes. So once you start on one side, you bring it down and around, kind of like a big U shape. Make sure it curves out quite a bit to give your owl a bigger belly. Oops. And then you're going to kind of come down a little below where the top of that line started and draw another U shape that goes around that first U shape. You're going to bring that on up. And the next thing you're going to do is, once you get to a certain point and they're kind of lined up and you have them to where they both, that U shape stops at about the same height on each side, you're going to bring it and curve it back out for the owl's head. And then curve it out once you get to the top corner of your eye. Curve it out to a point, curving it back in, and then like a upside down smile shape that goes across the top of the eyeballs. And then another, just curve it out for another ear. And bring it back in, and then curve it back around the side of that eye and connect it together. So that way you have the body of the owl. Next, we're going to add some wings. So kind of at the bottom part of his head, coming off the side, bring a line down. And just curve it around and loop it up. Curve it around and loop it up. Curve it around and loop it into the body. We're going to do the same thing on this side. Repeat our steps. Bring that line down, curve it around, loop it up again, and loop it and bring it into the body. Now we're going to add his feet on there. And you're just going to kind of start close to in the middle, but leave enough room so that they're not sitting right on top of each other. You're going to bring a line out and you're going to curve it around, kind of like you did your wings, only smaller. Loop it down and up, and then another one back into the body. And then over on the other side of the bottom of the owl, do the same exact thing as we did with the other one. Loop it 3 times. Gonna loop it down and then back into the body. Now, as I said, our owl is going to be sitting on a branch. So you're going to come in the background because your owl's in the foreground. You're going to draw a line that goes up to your owl. And you're just going to pretend like, okay, here's where my line should go. And bring it out of the other side of the owl. And you can draw your branch however you want to. You can have your branch running off the page. Or you can stop it and put as many like smaller branches as you want. Kind of sticking out. And then make sure you leave enough room. And it gets wider as it goes back to the other side of the paper. But leave enough room to where his whole entire foot or both feet are completely on that branch. And the next thing we're going to do is just add our detail for feathers to our owl. Because they got kind of ruffly, really soft feathers. They have feathers that actually give them silent flight. So their feathers are softer than most birds. Then just add your leaves with some lines and some pointy shapes at the end. And they can run off the page. And as I stated in the beginning, you can color your owl whatever colors you want your owl to be. You can get as colorful as you want to. And that is our fall animal for this week.